Test, test, test. 1, 2. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Poll Rundown. Very quick one. We've got 4 questions regarding the trading solution. These are very important. Throw away everything you know about how the old school polls have been working. The only important thing we are worried about here is really just what wins. We don't need to worry about 75%. We don't, this is the input that Jagex is getting from us. So, very important that we are voting on something that makes this game okay, makes this game not another GE-scape. So without further ado, let's get right into these questions. How much interaction should you have when trading? Now, it's no secret I am a fan of having to meet the player and trade them. The other options include I would like to know who I'm trading, but don't need to meet up with them. That's kind of a system like the GE, but you pick who you trade with. You don't mind as long as you get the items. These two are kind of more GE-based options. Hopefully these are not winning. This one, again, is kind of the compromise, but again, my ideal trading solution is in-game Zybez. So that's how I'm basically going to be voting, is so that there is a listing system within the game, but you still have to go to someone's world and trade them physically. That's just me, but if you want a GE, you're probably going to vote with one of these. Either way, moving on. Should the new trading solution work when you are not online? For me, again, want you to be able to play the game. I want trading to be the same. I just want it to be more convenient to know to find someone you're trading with. For me, that's the main thing. I don't want to, you guys can go off. I will link in the description. Watch my GE video. There's a whole lot of stuff. One of the main things I'm going to convey right now, one thing that a lot of people don't realize with a GE type trading system, trading bots become more of a problem. A lot of people are complaining about trading bots. They only get worse when you automate the trading when you automate the trading process. It just gets easier for them. It'll take them about a week to set something up, and then you'll have merchanting bots working around the clock just trading. And there aren't random events for trading, people. So, unfortunately, there's not much Jagex can do to stop that. And I don't think I've ever heard of Jagex ever banning merchanting bots. I don't think it's ever been on the top of their list. So, something to definitely think about when you're voting in these polls for sure. Should there be an official guide price for items? Absolutely not. This is, again, a GE-like thing. The players need to be determining the price. Jagex setting a price makes things very different. It also creates an environment wherein price manipulation is a little bit easier. But that being said, Jagex putting a price out there is almost the same as a player manipulating the price. They can do whatever they want. That being, the players will eventually reach a conclusion as to where, the price should be. But if you look on Zybez, again, the easiest way of trading in 07 we have right now, the main issue with Zybez is that it shows a price based off of whether offers are being accepted in the offer page. Fact of the matter is, I can go on Zybez and put up an offer for a feather for 10 mil. If I click accept, in theory, Zybez considers that offer as completed. They think the trade has happened, and the price changes accordingly. That is not an okay solution. It's the reason a lot of people get kind of ripped off when using Zybez, and they don't take their time with trading. Either way, I don't like a guide. I would rather there be a small amount of player-based manipulation than people falling for a price, basically a bad price set by Jagex. So I don't like that. And this is a very interesting thing. This is the question that kind of throws everyone through a loop. Should there be a tax on trades? Now, this is very interesting. This is, in theory, if there was a GE, should they take money away from you, right? And that's interesting. And it totally changes the way the GE works in a very drastic way. If we think about it, this is it's a big difference. It's like, oh, well, that, the GE's kind of okay now, a little bit, actually. It's an interesting check and balance on the GE. That being said, I don't know. If the trade, it's a very tough thing to vote on, because the way I'm voting is effectively, creating a system in which just Jagex creates something that's already there, but just having it in-game so it's more accessible to more players. Putting a tax on it does not help. So I'm torn, because if I vote for, and this is why, see, this is the type I wish Jagex would work through when they do these polls, because this is something that they probably didn't think about. If I'm voting with basically the goal in mind of voting for not having a GE-like solution to trading. I don't want a grand exchange. I don't want you to be able to trade while you're offline. I mean, the way I'm voting so far is pretty clear of that. But if the other votes, if my votes don't work, the problem with that is if I vote based on what I have been voting for this one, this doesn't apply to my system. There shouldn't be a tax on a listing service. There just shouldn't. That's silly. So I would vote no, but if there is a GE, yes, I would like a tax, because part of the problem with the GE is that it makes items so widely available. And that ruins profit for low-level players. Instead of alking items, people who do Slayer sell them and dump them on the GE. Again, watch the GE video I put up. There's a ton of reasons the GE shouldn't come in. Really, the only reason the GE is a good thing in any respect is because of its convenience. And I think we can all man up and understand that convenience is not the greatest thing in the world. So I don't know how to vote on this. I'm very torn because, like I just said, there's two schools of thought for this last vote for me. Do I vote no because I think that the way that I voted for now is understood that there should not be a tax system on just a plain listing service? Or do I vote yes in the case that everyone else is voting for a GE-like solution and there should be a tax on that? There's really no option for me. And then this, again, I didn't really touch on this middle question, but all trades above a minimum value of 1 mil GP should be taxed. That's not the issue. The issue with the GE is the smaller items being traded back and forth. So effectively, this middle option for me, at least with the way I'm thinking, is completely useless. So I don't expect a lot of people voting for this unless they don't really understand what they're voting for or have a very different opinion and a kind of different way of looking at it. I'm not sure what that is. I'd love to hear if you have that opinion in the comments below. But for me, I think I'm just going to vote no. Long term, if the player base does vote for a GE, yeah, it's going to affect the game. Yes, I'm going to be less likely to play for a long time. But if it's what's best for the player base right now and not necessarily the game, who knows? Maybe that's the best option. But for now, I'm going to vote no because I think taxing a listing service. I'm going to be the responsible voter. I'm not going to vote for preventing someone else's vote. I'm going to vote for what I believe in and going to say that there shouldn't be taxes on trading. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this very quick, very important episode of Poll Rundown. As always, the poll is linked in the description of the video, as well as that video to my opinions on the GE coming into old school. Check both of those out. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. And now, for you lovely Twitch viewers,